Hi, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Wednesday, June the 2nd, and welcome to our video commentary. You may have heard that the Democrats walked out on the Texas legislature the other day because they didn't want to vote for the new vote integrity law that the Republican majority passed. So they walked out, and the law nobody got to vote on the law because there was not a quorum in order to make it happen. But it's going to come back, and it's going to come back in the next session, and the next session is going to be a special session that the governor will call, so it'll be a lot sooner than you realize. But the whole question was over a what's called the voter integrity law, which simply reconfirms how we vote in Texas. It doesn't really change anything. It simply reconfirms how we vote in Texas. And in Texas, there are only three ways of voting. You vote in person, you vote early in person, or you vote absentee if for whatever reason, either because of health or travel, you cannot make it on election day. But that's it. That's how we vote. We've been voting that way for years. Now, the Democrats are saying that people are being denied their right to vote. Well, specifically what? They're saying, well, you can't vote from, you can't drop off your ballot anymore from your car. Well, we never had that law in Texas to begin with. That was just a little gimmick that was created during the 2020 election by Houston Democrats who wanted to mail out some ballots and blame it on the pandemic. Well, it didn't work because it was stopped by the Texas Supreme Court saying that is not legal in Texas. So all that this law confirms or reconfirms is how we vote in Texas. But if you listen to the Democrats, you would think that, my gosh, this is voter suppression, which is, of course, a bunch of nonsense. There is no one being suppressed. It's just nonsense. It's just awful demagoguery on the part of the Democrats. So why are the Democrats so angry? It comes down to two reasons. Number one, Texas is not turning out the way they thought it would. In this last election in 2020, the Republicans did actually very well. And it was the Democrats who had a bad night, not the Republicans. And most recently here in a special election, the Democrats did awful in a district where they should have at least have a candidate running, but as it turned out, two Republicans will be the ones running because not a single Democrat was able to crack into the top two. So the Democrats are angry that their voters are not turning out, so they're blaming the Republicans for that. And the real problem is their message, that their message is not connecting with Hispanic voters and with voters in general. That's what their problem is. So instead of walking out and doing this little gimmick of walking out, what they should do is walk out, vote, and then walk out and have a special meeting and try to understand why they're losing elections. I mean, that's what you do. When you lose elections, you don't blame it on the other guy. You understand why you did, why you lost. And the Republicans are winning here because I think they have a message better suited for Texas. The Democrats are losing because their message is not suited for Texas. And that's what the real issue is. It's winning and losing elections. It all comes down to message and what kind of a campaign you're running. So that's what it's all about. That's what's happening here in Texas. Thank you for watching. And if today is your birthday, happy birthday. Bye-bye, everybody.